I just want to have it more like conversation. Anyways, so thank you for joining me today. This is my friend Jerrett Osburn. Jerrett is in a paranormal field, and I will let him explain what it is he does.
I'm a pagan priest with a ominous point of view, so therefore I use every single religion. I've studied them all, including Christianity, so, but because I use so many things, I can't classify myself as Christian. And a lot of my other practices are from other bases, because and Omnis looks at the truth of all religions, and that one common theme that is the same in every point of view, that has to be what's called a universal law.
Yes.
And that's what helps me handle the spirits when I interact with them.
Okay.
Not every spirit you're going to come across is going to be the same belief as you.
True. True.
So
yeah,
we're a pretty integrated nation. And then, as you travel and stuff, you come across other travelers. Mm-hmm. So it helps to understand their point of views and their afterlife experience based on what they...
Seems like it's at least well-rounded then. Makes you well-rounded in it.
Yeah.
So how did you start your paranormal journey?
It was one of those ones that I didn't choose it chose me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I started off really young, dealing with spirits on a regular basis. This is a story that's been covered, so I'm not going to rehash it a lot. But basically, my mom saw what was going on and encouraged it. When I hit my teens, I had a situation happen with some friends in school. And because I was studying to be a Christian minister, the priests, they were pastors, because what was done is called a deliverance, not an exorcism. It's not Catholic. But since I was studying to be a minister, they had come to me because I was already showing promise. I was already showing aspects of what I was doing. But I also had experience in some darker things. And one of those was Ouija boards. And this particular case, it was one that had them baffled because they didn't know anything about boards. All they knew is it was evil. And I had a different point of view.
Happens to be my buddy Bo, who's barking.
But yeah, so I sealed the board for them, and they handled the deliverance.
Okay.
And they got the entity out of the girl.
Okay, good. So at least that was successful.
Right. And that got me into helping in the paranormal.
Nice. Okay.
I went through some medical things and got out of it for many years. It originally started off just because of having a family. My son was born, and I stepped out.
Yeah, that seems to be the journey that a lot of people take. I mean, we start off with having experiences not as a kid, not necessarily to the point you did, but that's what makes what you do a lot different than Joe Schmo, us regular cats who aren't doing some of the hardcore stuff you are. But you do get to a point where it kind of gets put to the wayside. And
well, the biggest reason is if you ask anybody that handle these things, any member of the Dominion,
right?
The Dominion Ministry Outreach Program, it's not an evil thing. It's all priests and bishops and from every point of view and every aspect of religion. And belief system. We all work together. But if you ask them, it seems like it's a calling for the people that handle the darker stuff.
Right.
That they go through some messed up things in their lives. Sometimes on cases that we handle, our friends, our family members, our loved ones, they're a subject of attack. So it makes it difficult to date. It makes it difficult to have a family.
Correct.
So that's why I chose to step out at that time. Then I went through my medical issues, and all of a sudden, after so many years, I couldn't deny my gifts anymore. I couldn't shut them off. I couldn't step away from it. And I was single, so I said, okay, and finished my priesthood. And from there, I found Endeavors. Endeavors found me, just like we found you.
Right.
And
now that we seem to be hitting some sort of anniversary there, and this obviously is the next piece to that.
Well, it was the same way with that. Endeavors had found me and kind of brought out what I'd always done in the shadows.
What? I can't imagine that like ever happening to someone.
Right?
Wonder what that looks like. Anyways, yeah. I see a pattern here somewhere.
And with that, the Dominion Ministry found me. And
okay.
that's how this progressed into me helping with as many heavy cases as I've done in the last year.
Oh, absolutely. So. Absolutely. All right. So then that covered that question as well. Okay. So then what is your... Well, I guess normal... I don't know how to articulate this question for you, but the question is like, what's your focus or what's your core mission? Yours.
For me personally, it's not about fame. It's not about recognition. Like I said, I was always just a shadow man.
Right.
Most people didn't even know my name. I was this odd, weird guy that they brought in, fixed the location, got thank yous, and I left.
Right.
I'd hear about how they're doing, stuff like that from, updates.
Right.
But I never really had any interaction with them afterwards, and it was never oh, you're the one that did it.
Right.
It was never needed.
It's about doing the job.
yeah, it's part of the job. It's
it's about it. For me, myself, it's about doing the job.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm wanting to do this, because I just feel that these are stories that people need to hear. How everyday Joe Schmo, because I'm going to be interviewing, hopefully lots of people. I'm looking forward to doing that. I've got some people in mind and getting some started up. And I want people to be able to see that, everyday Joe Schmo can go on this journey and you're not crazy and these are, legit things happening and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, and I've had a few higher profile cases.
Yeah.
But the ones that get me is all of these little private residents that I've done. Just in the year that you've known me, how many private cases does Eric go, God, Jerrett's on another one.
Right. Right.
But it's...
Well, even the ones we've been able to do as a team, I know how I feel in regards to that. When these people are able to feel safe and comfortable in their homes again, and they're not frightened, period. That's worth
why I do it.
Thank you. Exactly.
That's exactly what it is. When I hear people sleep in their own beds for the first time.
Right.
We had a case with Endeavors that was like that, where everybody slept huddled. Well, we had back-to-back, actually.
Yeah, we had several cases like that recently.
Where they were all huddled in one room, and now they're spread out throughout the house.
Right, they're comfortable in their homes. Comfortable. Yeah,
To hear that where somebody is at peace and happy, that is why I do it.
Right.
It's just...
Good. So, what was one of the most scariest encounters? Well, with you, that could be quite extreme. I don't know if I want that question on here.
The scariest ones are the ones that have caused physical damage to me.
Yeah.
Because we like to put everybody's mind at ease and say, oh, it's okay. If you put up boundaries, they won't hurt you.
Right.
In 99% of the time, that is the case. We can work will that way, where it's just a communication with spirits.
Correct.
But dealing with the non-human, that's where it gets spooky. And I've had a lot of bones broke. I've had organs hurt. I've had medical things happen that they can't explain. We've got a few members in the field, if you paid attention on Facebook, that are currently in the hospital with collapsed lungs and lung conditions that the doctors cannot explain. No, and it happened on the case. So it's when you're dealing with these non-human entities and they can actually cause physical harm to you and you question your mortality. But you still have to be strong enough to take the hits and say you're not going to defeat me. That doesn't mean that we sit there and beat ourselves up until we die.
Right.
That's happened too many times with priests.
Mm-hmm.
Know when a strategic exit is needed. Know when it's above your head.
Right. Absolutely. That's why I'm so glad that you are on the same team with me, because I know that if there gets to be something heavy, that we've got the big guns to call in. Right. Because bless you for that role that you take for us. I'm happy and bright, and I like to stay on the bubbly side of things. Right. I know there's a dark side. I've been through my dark side. I'm quite familiar and comfortable with my dark side, but if I don't have to go to battle against those and have that ripple effect for some of the other things I do in my life, because I have a life, this isn't, paranormal isn't my, everyday thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
a
for
lot
you
of
to
us
be able
is
to
just
take
hobby.
that, right. For me, yes, and well, I mean, no, it is my life. Let's clarify that. Like, paranormal is happening to me all the time. It is my life, but I'm trying to maintain a happy balance right now with what my career is, what my day job is at the moment. Until that's no longer my day job, and that's a different situation.
Right.
Foresight. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and if there was a way that you could make money at this, it would be phenomenal. But for some reason, when you do, it interferes with your ability to do your job.
That's what I've always believed, why I've never been able to do the card readings, or I'm supposed to do readings, blah, blah, blah. I can't charge for these services that I do because that's...
I understand paying for time. Some of my card readings...
Thank you, Bo!
Okay, some of my card readings I do charge because
Fair trade,
you're using your energy. Sometimes they just buy me dinner.
Right, exactly. Fair trade. Yeah,
stupid little stuff.
Okay.
But I also will never put down somebody that makes a living at it either, because it is their energy that they expend. Oh. And when they're doing 15 to 20 of them a day, that makes a toll on a person.
Blessed be. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that is your job at that point. Absolutely. Right. I just know that I am not at that level, that I cannot do that. That isn't my choice at the moment. Sorry. Right. I have nothing against anyone that does it. Yeah.
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 Well, and it's what it comes with the cleansings and everything else. For some reason, I have to watch for these keys of what entities use, and greed is one of those big ones. Right.
Well, I do find when I expend my energy in the ways that we are, in the types of cases and stuff we are, or in one-on-one situations, when I do use and expend my energies, I guess have seen on my journey that my reward is so much bigger than what I thought it was going to be. I get these amazing blessings that end up coming into my life, and that's what I've been looking for, and I've searching for on my journey. On that, so we've talked about your scariest. So what was your most meaningful encounter then?
Yeah, I covered my scariest without actually giving a case. That was good.
Yeah, well done.
The most meaningful for me, I've had a few. Unfortunately, it's not just one. It's usually, the ones that get me is when I have a young
Thank you, Bo.
teenager that is dealing with stuff that it is causing their life to be out of whack. Personality issues, relationship issues, trust issues, trying to find their place in this world. And then to hear after that they're outgoing back into life, and to see pictures and updates and them start to get a glow
when they blossom. Yeah. Well,
rather than that
having 3 teenage girls at one point in my house, I don't know what that's like.
Right. But it's when somebody's going through an attachment, or they're going through a violent haunting. A lot of times when I first see them, they look sick. Yeah. They look like they've been on meth for a long time.
The pallor of their faces, I can see.
Their eyes dark circled. Their skin is gray. Yes. I mean, this stuff works on them.
That reminds me, I have someone I want to talk to you about later.
Okay. But to see them afterwards, and after a case is done, and I've gone in and done what I've done, and they show me these pictures of this just beautiful human being just glowing again. Yeah. Being outgoing, making friends, getting involved in things and following their dreams rather than hiding in fear.
Yay. That's a good one. That's a good one. Nice. So is there anything that you would like our audience to know?
Porcupines in human clothing is absolutely hilarious.
That's great.
Well,
porcupines. Okay. Yeah.
On the paranormal wise, just remember that when you're dealing with these things, it is a matter of your will and what you are allowing. As much as that sounds kind of rough and tough, because some people will say, well, you're shaming a victim by saying that. It's not. It is allowing them to understand that their strength is far more than what they have been using.
Yes.
And it's trying to find a delicate way for them to understand that and realize that it isn't always about finding a savior.
Right.
You've got the power and the will inside yourself to do this. The only thing I can do is help you find the direction within yourself to heal.
Right.
I cannot heal you.
Right. Right.
So.
Because it's all our own self journey. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this series. Thank you for ending that way. Because that's how I wanted to do the series. It's about our journey. What your journey is. How did you get to this level? How did you get to the next level?
Well, that's the big thing to realize and learn. And I made those mistakes early on, thinking I was a healer and I could heal anybody and I could fix them.
Right.
I don't have that power.
Mm-hmm.
All I have is the ability to show directions and let things fix themselves. If it is not implemented, if it is not implied, if they do not follow the practice and heal themselves,
right.
No matter what that I do to influence the scales, that's all I'm doing is influencing the scales, balancing things out. It is up to them to maintain it. Otherwise, they will go right back to where they were at before.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And I've seen those behaviors in people before. Okay, so what do you hope for moving forward?
Wow, that one's a broad one.
It is.
Well, the biggest one right now is inside the paranormal, we have a lot of conflict with para-unity, para-drama, all this other bullshit. I love the buzzwords. However, para-unity, in essence and its definition, cannot exist. For the simple fact is if it was to, then we would be supporting a lot of really nasty characters in this community that are causing it to be a lot harder for the rest of us. The people that are out here wanting to produce real evidence, not sensationalize things, give them the honest. Some of this stuff is crazy enough as it is. You don't need to be making it up just for ratings.
Right.
Well, but with this thing though, what's going on is we've got to find this way of getting a way of communicating amongst each other, so that we can start hearing the similar stories that are going on with the same people that are causing problems, without people screaming paradrama.
Okay.
When you start screaming paradrama, you're putting yourself into that category of, I'm causing issues, so I don't want people to scream about me, so I'm going to scream paradrama.
Okay.
It's distract and
right. Okay.
Mirror project.
Okay. Fair enough. Because it's not like, okay, paranormal and the current field and what little I've seen of it, it's not anything that's policed or licensed or sanctioned or anything like that. Anyone can do this. I mean, that's kind of the point. We all experience this stuff. But it's about having integrity. And integrity is doing the right thing when nobody is watching.
Right.
And that's hugely, hugely important. My hope is that people are able to use, discernment when they are watching videos. If it doesn't feel like it's right, it's probably not. That's a part of tapping into into your power, into who you are, to be able to figure this out and use discernment, you know. And when we start to see stuff that we know is not holding up to integrity, not holding up to, I don't necessarily want to say standard, but there needs to also be a level of professionalism I'm discovering in this.
Well, and that's where some are falling into that boundaries, is where they're turning into para-bullies.
Right.
Because they're trying to out somebody. Mm-hmm. Take your time. Make your statements when you need to make them. Don't make a lot of them.
Right.
Some of the stuff that I've had to deal with in my life has all panned out in the last year.
Right.
I didn't make a big stink. I only made a couple of comments here and there. If I made a big stink, would a lot more people have been safe? Maybe. But I'd also been destroyed in the process.
Right.
My character would be on question.
Correct. So, yeah, the way that it was handled, the way that you handled it, I've always thought at this point that the way you've been handling it is of the utmost standard. And I forgot where I was going.
That's all good.
Darn it, lost it. That's all right. So that's all I've got at the moment. Thanks. Bye.